way up to Angela, but I call her Yee. Way up.
Yo, what's good? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. Lindsey Granger, day 2. We back together again.
Day 2, besties.
I know, I'm loving this. I feel like you'll be here more, right?
I will. You know, I'm going to manifest the East Coast for myself.
Okay, well, let's get this show started. We got Tamika Mallory joining us today, by the way. She has her book, I Live to Tell the Story, a memoir of love, legacy, and resilience. And all three of us have worked with Coach Jesse, my detox coach. Yeah, the detoxnow.com. So we'll be talking to them. But let's start the show with some love and some positivity. Let's shine a light. 800-292-5150. Call us up. Let us know who you want to spread some love to. It's Way Up.
I'ma shine. I'ma shine.
Turn your lights on, y'all.
Turn your lights on.
Spreading love to those who are doing greatness.
Shine a light on them. Shine a light on them.
It's time to shine a light on them.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm here with my girl, Lindsey Granger.
Hey.
And we are going to shine a light. You found this person, actually, Lindsey.
Yes.
Will L. Selby. He's the co-owner and manager of Zach's Finest Deli and Grocery in Staten Island. And you know what he's doing? He gives kids free food for good grades.
I love that because I remember my sister had friends growing up there. She's 3 years older than me, but you know, they gave me $10 if I got an A, and it meant so much.
You be trying to get them A's.
I be trying to get them A's on purpose. I wanted $10. So this is such a big deal to be doing as somebody who's not related or not friends with these kids.
You know, this is really a community-based thing because the kids literally go in there and he knows their names, what their last grade was. Well, he says students who get an average of 80 to 90% get whatever they want from the store. And if you get between 70 and 80, you get $10 worth of items. Now, if you get 90% or higher, you get your pick of items from the store as well as a $100 bill.
What?
And a T-shirt.
He gotta stop playing.
That's good there with a report card.
Right? He must be doing well, which is good for him. He must be doing well.
But anyway, shout out to him. That's amazing to see that at Zach's Finest Deli and Grocery. So shout out to Will El Sawi. He's the co-owner and manager. Now, Mia, who do you want to shine a light on?
I would like to shine a light on both my boys, Dominic and Shamar.
Okay.
Dominic just started working at McDonald's, so he is extremely excited about that.
Ooh.
And my oldest is in the Air Force. He just got stationed in North Dakota, so I just want them to know that I'm extremely proud of them.
That's
sweet.
beautiful.
Dominic, tell Dominic, make sure I get my fries nice and piping hot. Don't play with me. And not too much salt. That's what I was saying.
Oh, yeah, and I think it's really good when parents tell their kids they're proud of them. Sometimes kids just want to, you know, they know they want to live up to your dreams. They want to hear it. So that's so nice of you.
Yes, he is extremely excited to start his first job.
What city are you in?
We're in Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay.
Oh, we'll be at that
I'm going to pull up on
which one? Then he's going to get like flooded with people in the drive-thru.
Well, shout out to them, you know, and to you two for being a great mom and raising them to be hardworking individuals.
And you made it. Congratulations.
Yeah. Now they take care of you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for calling.
Y'all enjoy the rest of your day.
You too.
You too.
All right. Well, that was Shine a Light, 800-292-5150. If you want to, you can always call and leave a message and shine a light for last word. And when we come back, we have your Yee tea. And let's talk about Harvey Weinstein. He was found guilty of sexual assault yesterday. We'll tell you what happened. All right. It's Way Up.
Truth in the room.
From industry shade to all the gossip,
Talk to me.
Angela's spilling that Yee tea.
Talk to him.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm here, and my girl Lindsey Granger's here.
We're going to talk about it all.
That's right. It's Yee tea time. Harvey Weinstein. He has been convicted of one count of committing a criminal sexual act, but he was acquitted on another one of his sex crimes for that retrial in New York City.
Yeah, Harvey Weinstein, it feels like never ending. He has so many charges against him over the years that he's just going to be in court, it feels like, the rest of his life, which, you know, he did these things, rightfully so.
There are so many people that have discussed how awful he is. And this trial started in April. 3 women testified about these alleged sexual assaults that he committed. And he faced 2 counts of committing a criminal sexual act in the first degree and 1 count of third degree rape. So it is a mixed verdict.
It's so wild how many different charges have come up. and how many people must have been sitting around seeing these actions happen. Like, he's so wealthy and access to so many people. You think about how many people watched all this go down, and you kind of get disgusted about it. If it, like I said, if it's true, obviously these are alleged.
Well, he is serving a separate 16-year prison sentence for his 2022 rape conviction.
Right, so we do have that to go
there.
on. Yeah, not alleged.
Okay, and Salento, do you remember Salento?
Yes,
Watch Me Whip?
yes.
Watch Me Nay Nay. He just got sentenced to 30 years yesterday.
Oh gosh, I thought we were having good news. Okay.
For the 2021 murder of his cousin in Atlanta. He was arrested weeks after his cousin, Frederick Rooks III, was found shot multiple times at a home. He admitted to the shooting, and bullets found at the scene matched the gun he was carrying at the time of his arrest, according to prosecutors.
When you have access and you've seen another side of success and change, like, why go back to any of the stuff that you may or may not have been doing in the past?
Right. I mean, look, his song, that Watch Me Whip, came out in 2015. He was only a junior in high school at that time. So, yes, and condolences to the family. That's not anything easy to have to deal with.
Sure.
Another family member killing, somebody else. So that's awful.
Right.
Well, that is your Yeetie. And when we come back, we have About Last Night. That's where we discuss what we did last night. I spent a lot of my day yesterday on the phone on hold. I know you did too.
Oh, I spent it on text, automated text with United. No
all right.
disrespect
You
to
know
them.
what? We're going to talk about all of that. It's way up.
So, about last night. Here's how it went down.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee, and I am here with my girl, Lindsay Granger, and we both had a similar About Last Night issue.
Because we were venting these automated systems and people, and you go first.
So I've been trying to pay the insurance on the building in Detroit. I somehow got locked out of the account. I think I put the wrong password in or something, and then it locks me out.
Yeah.
I
super
cannot
annoying.
get a person, a human being on the phone to pay this bill. And so they keep on sending me emails, but I can't get anyone on the phone. Like, every time I call, it's like, press this number. We need your zip code. And it's just not working. And it's so irritating. Every time I call, then I'm on hold for so long that I end up just having to hang up, because I'm working. I got stuff going on. I can't get a person on the phone.
And you don't want to do that during your downtime when you're done working for the day. Like, who wants to sit on the call for hours then?
But
so it's like a good time to be on the train.
I got to pay late fees now? No. This is ridiculous. Now, you also...
I had the same issue. Like, these text automations with airlines are supposed to make your life easier. Oh, I'm going to shoot this text and get this sorted. But I was texting back and forth with a bot for 45 minutes. And I kept saying representative to text. And they were like, no, we need to understand the issue. We can help. We are well equipped to help. Having a full conversation. And I'm like, so finally get to the 45-minute later mark and realize, no, they can't book a flight for my daughter.
And now you still got to make a call.
So I had to talk to somebody anyway.
So they can't book a flight for your daughter?
When your kid is under 3, you can't book them a flight by themselves because they're not allowed to travel alone without an adult until they're 5. But Colin's already on the flight and we already booked his ticket. I was just trying to book hers separately because I hadn't done it on time.
So she wants to fly with her dad, but because he is already booked, you can't just book her ticket, but then you can't get anyone on the phone.
Right, so it was just dramatic. But it's booked now, but after 2 hours of my life have been down the drain.
Representative!
Representative!
When you see people looking so mad. All right, well, that's About Last Night. Another thing I was thinking about, they have this whole story about what it means if you constantly post about each other on social media, right? And experts are saying when people feel more insecure about their partner's feelings, they tend to make their relationships visible. I want to talk about what that means and what your idea is. You talk about Colin, you posted Colin, all of that. Like, I post my man, but I don't. You know what I'm saying? It's not like...
It's like, if you know, you know.
I'm not sending him sweet messages on social media, but we'll talk about it. It's Way Up.
Yeah, what's happening? You want to know my name?
Way Up with Angela Yee.
Turn me on.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee, and I'm here with Lindsay Granger.
Yes, I'm back, y'all.
And we're talking about people who post a lot about their relationship. According to reports, that says they actually have bad relationships. They said it's fine to post once in a while, but when someone is constantly posting, is it for validation?
I need to go through my Instagram now and see just how much of the ratio
So
looks
I
like.
already looked at your page.
Oh, is it like overly counted?
It's really not.
Oh, good, okay.
As a matter of fact, it don't even look like you have a man.
Well, because he always calls me a single mom on Instagram, and I don't feel like I am. I feel like I post him so much.
One time.
Okay, I take that back.
Out of 40 posts, I see him once.
Well, I'll tell you, I was dating somebody in the past that used to argue with me about how much I posted them, so I just gave in and just posted them all the time.
It do look like, because you do post your daughter Kinsley a lot, and then
I'm a single mom.
It looks like.
Well, me and Colin are
not in the
happy
picture.
and healthy relationships, so thank you, therapist. So I stand corrected. I am not the one that overposted their man. What about you?
No, I really don't post him like that. Like in my stories, if we're somewhere together, but I don't be like, this is my man. I don't do all of that.
Right.
But it's not for any like real reason. Most of my page is kind of stuff for work.
Well, I just shined a light on Colin yesterday.
You
so
did.
Now I'm like, okay, am I doing too much?
And
Let's
y'all
scale
work
back.
together too. You guys travel together. You work together.
So I think we got to figure out more of our friends' separate time. We're working on that part because
Yeah, y'all are
we
always
hang out
together.
all the time and it's out of line. But we love each other. So it's all
what
good.
about a collab? Would you do a collab post with him?
We've actually gotten into arguments about that because I'm like, I don't feel this. Like, this is your thing.
Collab
Like,
post.
but obviously, if it's like about our business, like, it benefits us. But I'm like, I don't feel this. Like, I don't want to share. But so I'm working on it. If he really feels
We're
strongly
work in
about it, like,
progress.
he was featured in the Source magazine, and I'm like, cool, post it. I'm gonna repost it on my stories. Da da da.
You're not
He's
gonna
like,
do a collab?
post. But I'm like, what? I'm not even mentioned in this story. What? I don't ask him
He
to
didn't
post.
mention you. No, playing.
But I ended up collab posting because he felt a way about it. So whatever. I'm open to collab post. It doesn't mean that much to me.
I do think sometimes it is whatever works for you. It can be very healthy to just keep that private. Because for me, I feel like every now and then something happens, and then I don't need nobody. I don't post and tag my mom. Like I'll put my mom, but I don't put her page up or anything. Because I
people are
also
weird.
don't want people like attacking people in your family who are like, or people close to you who you're like, I'm not even trying to put them in the middle of something, because people can be very nasty online.
Especially when I talk about politics like
Ooh,
3 out of
yeah.
4 days a
Okay,
week.
get it.
Yeah, people find me under a picture of Kinsley and be like, raggedy. And I'm like, yo,
No.
this is me and my baby. What's wrong with you? Who raised you?
With me.
So, yeah.
Listen, like I could say something like, man, it's so sad to see ICE tearing families apart, and then they will go in on you. Like,
But the thing with Colin is I will always tag him because he want to go toe to toe with anybody
yeah.
in the comments.
And now you got to calm him down.
No, like,
Somebody
it's
said
just
something
a vibe.
crazy about me. Now I got to calm you down. Well, anyway, I would love to hear what you guys think about that. 800-292-5150. Call us up. You can always leave a message. Or on the app, you can click that microphone and leave a message that way. When we come back, we have your Yeetie. And speaking of all of this posting, let's talk about Larsa Pippen. She is discussing what it was like, dating and then breaking up with Marcus Jordan. And she has a new show that came out yesterday. We'll talk about it. It's way up.
Yo, she about to blow the lid up off this pot. Let's get it. Oh, yeah. Angela's spilling that yee tea. Come and get the tea.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm here with Lindsay Granger, and it's time for your Yeetie.
Yes, let's do it.
Ooh, so recently, Larsa Pippen was just talking about, her previous relationship with Marcus Jordan. And she talked to the Post, and she said that she didn't date for like a year after that.
I mean, it was very, 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 very public.
She said she worked on date.com. She worked on her businesses. She spent time with her kids, her friends. She said she felt like her last relationship was so public, and at the end it was so draining, and she feels like, thank God I made it out of it.
And also probably for her, like some people on reality shows do a good job of keeping their family and people they love out of the conversations, but they both were kind of famous, Marcus Jordan in his own right. So it's like, how could you avoid it in some ways? But I guess he, just
Well,
post
she
a
got
little
a new
less.
man now.
Okay, so it took her a year. Is that a
Yeah.
good amount of time to take
Her new man is Jeff Kobe. He also plays basketball.
Okay.
And he's 31 years old.
Oh,
and
youngin'.
she was working on herself and also the app that she co-founded called Date.com. She went to a party, met him, and she said things happened naturally and organically, and she wasn't looking for it.
So is Date like one of those hookup, like gonna help you out like Tinder? Like is Date? Because I feel like she was the perfect person to work on
A dating app?
Yeah, that gets people together. Especially if this new relationship that happened organically is something that lasts for a long time. It could be like, look, you could be through a divorce. You could be this type person. Either way, it could all work out for you.
Well, it is. If you're looking for love, it's an app called Date.com that's supposed to make finding love super easy, which I don't know that you could ever guarantee that.
Yeah, because people on Tinder and all them actually doing whatever. Just whatever.
But, Real Housewives of Miami is back, so you can watch that now. It came back out last night.
Exciting.
All right, well, that is your Yeetie. When we come back, we have Under the Radar. These are the stories that are not necessarily in the headlines. They're flying under the radar, but you need to know about them. It's Way Up.
I got news. This in the news that relates to you. These stories are flying under the radar.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I am here with Lindsay Granger.
I'm back.
You back, baby. And we are ready to do this Under the Radar stories. So Netflix has officially announced the release date for the Dallas Cowboys documentary series.
Oh, I'm excited.
Yes, that is something that I know these crazy Cowboys fans are going to be very into.
Because it's serious. One of my friends, if I do something that makes her uncomfortable during a Cowboys game, it's my fault they lost.
Oh,
Like
damn.
if I walked in front of the TV, if I and that's how Cowboy fans feel.
Well, it's called America's Team, The Gambler and His Cowboys. The trailer came out back in December, but we now know it's going to be released on August 19th.
Now we're gonna see if the Cowboys are actually as popular on TV as they are in real life.
Good point.
Right?
And the FDA has approved lab-grown salmon. Does that matter to you as a salmon eater?
I can't do it. I just had some amazing, hopefully not lab-grown salmon earlier.
But how would you know?
Yeah, I can't. No, I don't want to think that my fish is grown in the lab.
The FDA also has approved 2 companies' cultured chicken in 2022, so I guess we have that as well. So
I mean, just hearing lab grown, I already think we do too much nonsense to our food, and we're eating way worse than most other countries. Haven't visited a few of them, and I don't want to eat anything that's grown in the lab. I just don't trust the people enough.
but we'll never know.
We won't. It's going to be in the store with a small writing. It says lab.
All right, well, that is your Under the Radar. And when we come back, we got the Way Up Mix at the top of the hour. Plus, Tamika Mallory is going to be joining us. Her
So
book,
excited.
I Live to Tell the Story, a memoir of love, legacy, and resilience, is out right now. You got to check it out. It's Way Up.
Man, she's spilling it all. This is Yee T. Way up.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee, and Lindsey Granger is here. And I just want to say, Lindsey, you broke this story when you were on Way Up.
And I want my credit. I'm not even going to lie. It was a march, and I said, listen.
It's still up there. By the way.
Okay, so
It's
and
up
we
there.
had a lot of interaction with it, but I said that Diddy's team was already talking to Trump's team about a potential preemptive pardon, just in case things don't go right for him.
Right. And so I know
And now
that
Trump
money is
responded
lined
and
up.
said a couple days ago, I'll be looking at it.
All right, well, let's get into what's going on while Diddy is on the stand right now. And the Jane Doe is being cross-examined by the defense.
This is one of his ex-girlfriends, correct? Yes.
And I don't know if I would consider this one of his girlfriends, though.
Oh,
It
because
was
we
some-
knew all his girlfriends. Somebody he was dealing or messing with for a long time or had a situationship.
Well, she acknowledged yesterday that texting hotel night was fun, but she said those feelings were for Combs. It wasn't supposed to be for the entertainers that she hired to come and be there. It was 2 entertainers, 2 men that they hired, and she was reading aloud some text messages between her and Diddy. He texted her to call a specific person and then said, or Paul is free. And then she liked the message, and previously she had said she wasn't really in the mood for all of that, but then it looks like she was saying that it was fun, and she wanted him to take her out and romance her. She said she received any type of affection from him with open arms. She said, my circumstances were my options in this relationship. If I see him, there is a request for a hotel night, so I'm just adapting to my circumstances. I'm adapting to my environment. So she's saying the reason that she organized these things was because she was under pressure by him. And she said that she was hurt after being made to have sex with 3 guys, but she also texted him that she loved her birthday.
People are like, how is this connecting the dots to trafficking and all the other things he's charged with? Because so far, they're just trying to show a pattern of coercion and behavior with people that were considered employees that did things to aid some of these situations. So if you look at what might have been happening in her alleged hotel room activity or what happened with Cassie, there are people who were on the job and on the clock, including even Cassie herself, that in some ways, if that is your boss to subordinate relationship, doing these things is not only illegal, but then it goes into another category, which is what they're trying to prosecute him for. So, I'm just watching it all play out because obviously the defense is pushing back really hard on everybody, but the prosecution also, I'm assuming, has a clear laid out plan about why they're calling these people and what exactly this adds to the story besides, people are like, okay, so Diddy's freaky. What are we talking about?
Yeah, because she's reading these text messages aloud. She said, I love you so much as my friend, my lover, my boyfriend, even though you don't like that word.
Right.
According to the message. And she actually was crying on the stand while she was reading this and getting very emotional. I'm talking about these hotel nights and how much she loves spending time with him. I see a lot of conversations of people being like, oh, well, she made this choice.
Right.
So what are we talking about here? I see people saying that in the comments, but I think we'll see as more things unfold. Well, we will definitely keep you updated. I know Armand Wiggins is coming in tomorrow, and he's been there present at the trial every day.
Every day, so
reporting.
that's your source.
So we're going to give you a little update from somebody who's actually physically been there. All right, well, that is your Yee T. And when we come back, we have Ask Yee, 800-292-5150. Any question you have, we're here to help. It's Way Up.
It's relationship or career advice. Angela's dropping facts.
All you should know.
This is Ask Yee.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm here with Lindsay Granger. Thanks for being here for day 2.
Of course. I'm excited.
And it's time for Ask Yee, 800-292-5150. We're here to answer any question. And we have somebody who wants to remain anonymous, so you know it's good.
Yes.
Hey, what's up?
Hi.
How you doing?
What's going on?
I'm good. How's everyone there?
We're feeling good. Thank you for asking. You have a question?
So I work a lot. My career is very, very important to me, but I often find myself being tired, missing family events, forgetting to reach out to friends. So I just want to know, how can I balance my friendships and family with my work life without making them feel neglected?
I think my dad always tells me, don't expect a friend if you're not being a friend. And so you got to try to invest in those relationships, because when your partner gets on your nerves, when your kids get on your nerves, you still have friends, and those are all important relationships. And so they have to understand a season that's busy, but if a season becomes like 5 years of we haven't seen each other, well, then you are my associate, probably.
And there's so many ways to stay in touch, too, that don't have to necessarily be like in person. And sometimes that does mean like I can call you not because I need something, but just to say, hey, I'm just checking on you. How you doing?
And we'll even do this is a group of girls I studied abroad with. I haven't seen them probably in 2 years, but once a month on the first Tuesday, we do a phone call for 30 minutes.
Yeah, and that
Everybody's
actually
busy.
turns out to be really fun. Group text messages with your friends are also good. Like my group text message from high school, it'd be kind of lit sometimes.
And you can't answer everything. You just jump in when you can. But don't be like, not participating.
Because it's a group of them, so if one of y'all ain't answering, it's fine. There's the rest of them that can go crazy.
That's true.
Are your friends mad at you?
No, well, it's not that they're mad at me, but I kind of feel bad on my end, especially when it comes to my family, because my family is very family orientated. Like, we do a lot of things together. We have a lot of events, and like they have committees, and I feel bad that I can't make meetings because I'm working or I'm tired. So it's just things like that, Yeah.
And I will say family is a little bit different for me. As I get older, I'm like, I need to show up for family. Like, I need to try to be there.
Yeah, you do need to make some prioritization at times, because I think sometimes with work, with other responsibilities, we put that last because we know we take for granted that they'll always be there for us. So you don't want to have those regrets that you miss some really important milestones.
Right.
And so, just make sure if it's a holiday or a birthday or something that you really should be there for, make it a priority.
And I'll ask my mom, like, how important is this to you? And she'll tell me. Because she makes everything seem like I must be there.
That.
Yeah, so just be like, how important? And she'll be like, this is really important. And then I'll make it happen.
Yes, I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to start asking that. Like, how important is this to you if I show up? Thank you so much, ladies. I really appreciate the advice.
Good luck. You got
Thank you.
this
Good
covered.
luck.
Thank you.
All right. Well, that was Ask Ye. Thank you so much, Lindsay. That was great advice.
Oh, you know what? I try my best.
All right. Well, when we come back, we have Tamika Mallory and Coach Jesse joining us. We'll be talking about Tamika's book, I Live to Tell the Story, a memoir of love, legacy, and resilience. You are going to love this conversation. She's so amazing.
Yeah, she just is somebody who just is consistent and thorough, and you got to just appreciate her no matter what. You just got to appreciate people like that.
All right. It's Way Up.
And I'm back.
We about to do this. One of the most famous women in radio. We're talking about Angela Yee. You're Way Up with Angela Yee. Please believe that.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm here with my good friend, Coach Jesse.
Hey.
And look, all my good friends are here. Lindsay Granger is here. She's been guest hosting. And of course, the birthday girl in the flesh. Happy birthday. Tamika Mallory is here.
My sister.
And we've been talking about this because your book, I Live to Tell the Story, when I tell you, I thought I knew you, and like they used to say on MTV, but you have no idea. And this memoir of love, legacy, and resilience is so amazing.
Some of the book has a lot of shame in it, for me, moments when I felt ashamed of certain things. And so it felt good to like get it out, but to also be on the other side of so much of it.
Just even thinking of a young Tamika and things that you went through. And I know for some parents reading the book that have teenage daughters, it made me reflect on how I was too as a kid, because I was a mess. And the friends that you think are your friends at the time, and the boys that you think care about you, and the situations you go through rebelling against your parents, who at the time they're trying to do the best that they can.
That's the best they can.
As far as raising you, trying to protect you from the outside world. But sometimes there is nothing a parent can do when you're determined to be outside.
Absolutely. And, my parents experienced that. At my birthday party, I said to them publicly, thank you for not leaving me, for never leaving me, because they could have. I was ridiculous. Like, ridiculous. I was a runaway. Always, dropped out of school. Everything you could think of, I was just a mess.
Right.
Everywhere I go, people ask on the book tour, they're like, what's the one thing that you would tell your younger self or some young person? And I say, listen to your parents.
Yeah.
And listen to your mother. My mother used to say, I don't like that little girl.
Yeah.
Don't bring her back in my house. Her energy, I don't like her.
And
she just
intuition
knew.
she had.
It's everything that my mother told me, everything came to pass in one way or the other.
Right now, I am with Lindsay Granger and Coach Jesse. We are talking to Tamika Mallory.
Here you were in a situation where you had boys who you trusted nearly gang raped you, right? You talk about it in the book. And that kind of betrayal, not boys who were antagonistic, but your friends.
My parents did not know that particular incident occurred. My dad would say all the time, do not go to any boy's house. And then I went to this boy's house, and he had 3 other boys there, and all of them had different conversations with me, and they tried their best to talk me into it. Big old dog in the house. I'm scared to death. My crying, clothes disheveled. And the boy's mother came in the house and looked at me and said, what is this little girl doing in my house? And she was like, get yourself together and get out. She never took her eyes out of my eyes. As I think back over it, God only knows what her experience was in life.
Right.
That had her like, damn, this girl is about to experience something. I'm here to catch it as a mother of the boy who is orchestrating it.
To add more trauma onto that, your best friend, who you thought was your best friend at the time, then spreads a rumor about you throughout
because
the
she
neighborhood.
likes the guy. So then she goes out and spreads that, I'm basically out here letting people run a train on me. A lot of what we do as young women is just trying to be cool.
All right, Tamika Mallory is here. Lindsay Granger is guest hosting. Coach Jesse's in the building. We got more when we come back. It's Way Up.
Look.
Yeah, what's happening?
You want to know my name?
Way Up with Angela Yee. Turn me on.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. And of course, my girl Lindsay Granger's been here guest hosting for the past 2 days. We got Coach Jesse here, and we got the amazing Tamika D. Mallory.
What's the cost of courage for you? Because and then also, what would you tell people that everybody's not an activist?
Yeah,
some people don't even know how to jump in some of these conversations or fights. We all know kind of what we would do. But there are some young people that don't know how to get in this conversation without risking losing jobs and like. So what's your
before they even started?
Yeah, right. You know what I mean?
It's funny because I tell people all the time, they think that I'm gonna say like, shut it down everywhere you go. You gotta stand up. I'd be like, don't you lose that job down there trying to argue with them folks every day and doing it. You better go to work and do your job and work towards being an entrepreneur or work towards getting in a place where you can be yourself. You can speak up. But guess what? Because of me being so outspoken and now being labeled as controversial and all the things, I can't take those skills to go work for X company because they're not going to hire me. I tried to wrap presents 3 years ago at Saks in like Bloomingdale's. I applied for the position because I'm really good at wrapping presents. Bruh, one of those stores contacted me to be like, this is not gonna happen. It's
not gonna happen.
Like, what are you talking about? Like, why are you applying for this position, Miss Mallory? Miss Mallory. We know you. So even though that might be funny, because it was funny, my friends was like, girl, please, why did you even apply for that?
Can't believe you
but it's not funny if I was seriously in need of the job.
Right.
Right now, I am with Lindsay Granger and Coach Jesse. We are talking to Tamika Mallory. Now, I do want to ask you about something else in the book that you mentioned, right? This was an instance, 14 years old, where you were raped by somebody that you knew, but still had to see that person at times and kept it cordial, even though it wasn't. And you said you can understand people who don't, because you went through this.
Yeah, and he was going to be a basketball star. I'm thinking to myself, damn, if I tell this story, this might ruin his career. Then I started being like, my parents told me don't be going to the boy's house, and so now it's kind of my fault because I shouldn't have been here. All of that stuff played in my mind. I was at an event. A group of women came with a little girl, and so at the end, she stood up and said she wanted to ask a question. And so she said, well, I've been sitting here reading your book, but you say in here that you didn't tell anybody. And she said, Now, as that you're older, would you do something different? But in my mind, I'm thinking, I don't want my dad to go to jail. Are they going to believe me? But what I said to her in response was, oh, if I could do it again, I would definitely tell, because what I realized in hindsight is that he had to be doing it to somebody else. So if I'm a young woman, I mean, I just feel like we're creating a society that further cements the idea that if you speak out about your pain, people are going to accuse you of something.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not a healthy environment for young women or men. Men, God bless what they've gone through. That no one knows about the sexual assault from the babysitter or the aunt or whomever. No one knows about that. No one knows they're being beaten by their wives.
And if they come forward,
attacked.
they get made fun of.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah.
You can't, you know, no one knows about that. They don't feel comfortable sharing those things.
All right, Tamika Mallory is here alongside Coach Jesse, and I got Lindsey Granger by my side. Love that for me. And when we come back, we normally would be doing Last Word, but instead, we have some more with Tamika Mallory. That's how great this book, I Live to Tell the Story, is. We got more conversations. It's way up.
Turn it up. You vibing way up with Angela Yee.
Come right back.
More now.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm here. Lindsey Granger is here. And Coach Jesse's here. And Tamika D. Mallory is here. All of us are in the building. This book, I Live to Tell the Story, is out right now. This is Tamika's memoir.
But yet and still, you took everything that you went through and you openly shared it, and that was so courageous. Something you mentioned about depression, right? You said in the book you didn't even know that you were depressed.
No.
Right? Going back to where you were in that place, how did you get help?
Oh, thank you, God, for help. Thank you, God, for the rough days. The rough days, unfortunately, is where I learned how to take care of myself. You know, another saying by my mentor, she said to me, God's address is in the dark. That's where he lives. Like when you're in a dark space, that's where you find God. I said, wow. And it's so true, because that rehab facility, it was so dark.
So the rehab was because during depression you were the pills, everything was everything was happening at the same time.
I'm acting like the
remember, connect the dots.
Yeah, that's right.
We want you to get the book.
So going to rehab, which I have to give, you know, so much love to my sister Rachel Nordlinger, who dropped me off, took me to, there's a picture of us that she sends me every year. We're inside of the facility and she's about to leave.
Wow.
And she sends me that picture every year to remind me of how far I've come, you know, since 2019. And Jason Williams, the NBA All-Star, sent me to rehab under an alias. I didn't have to pay one dime.
Wow.
And he put me in a program, which I later found out was $80,000. And I was like, well, give me $80,000 and I'll go home and see if I can work it out. Like, you know what I mean? Get on the therapy. Yeah, like, shoot. But it was there that the therapist would come and he would ask me questions, which I talk about in the book. By the way, even though I was under an alias, all of the staff knew exactly who I was or who I am. And so when he asked the question, he was being very intentional and he was trying to figure out, why are you here? And I'm like, well, I want to get sober. You know, I just gave a very generic answer. But all night I sat with that thing. Why are you here?
Yeah.
And that next day I was ready. I bust out and I said, my life is in shambles. The relationship between my son and I, it's a mess. Everything around me is falling apart and I need to get myself together. And later on, he pulled me to the side and said, everything that you're going through in this moment, you need to recognize that it's okay to take care of you. Right. So I have this quote in the book that says, I was born fighting for freedom and I will die fighting for freedom. But this time freedom includes me. And so I'm trying to center myself in the midst of that. And that's how I'm getting help. That therapy is important. And I don't just have a therapist. I have a psychiatrist. And because the stigma around needing medication to deal with different issues, there is a stigma that makes you feel like you're crazy, especially in the Black community. It's like, oh, you need to take this. Oh, you on that. But I've never been better in my life that I have help for anxiety that I need. I need it every day.
Well, listen, I live to tell the story. A memoir of love, legacy, and resilience. Tamika D. Mallory. We thank you so
Thank you,
much.
sis. I appreciate you for having. And it's the right time. It's my birthday week.
Well, thank you so much to Tamika D. Mallory and to Coach Jesse for joining us. Thank you, Lindsay, for guest hosting for these past 2 days.
You're welcome. I love coming up here. It's just like a nice breath of fresh air. You guys are really the best in the business.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you more. But of course, y'all have a great day. I'll be back tomorrow.